Okay. All right. So on the internet, it turns out we found out. I think we found out what is doing it. For example, here it's set to attack target, which is my middle mouse button. That's what I use to get them to attack. So let's say I do neutral. He's still on follow. He's on neutral, right? Remember I was having problems with this? It cost me my fucking army. Here. Let's go. See? See, now went back to attacking target. So this is what happened on the internet, and I'll show you the post. Here's the post. Group whistle's not working. It says, try pressing Z and some blue writing should pop up on your screen. Once it appears, tap 0 twice on your numpad. Do your whistles work after this? This fixed my problem. I've been trying everything to fix this all day. Thank you for passing response. Yeah. So for some reason, it works now. And basically, I just did this. Held this. Tap 0, 0. And that's it. So now let's say I put it back on passive. Let's go find another target. It's hard to get that working. See? You see how it's working now? It went from passive to attacking target. It's obeying my whistles. When I can get a fucking lock on the item or on the object. I've noticed you have to aim like about 2 feet above. You see? It's working now. Can't believe this shit. It's somehow your whistles get fucked up, and that Z and then 0, 0 fixes it up pretty quickly. Somebody up there. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you guys know. It looks like that is a resolution to the issue. That sucks because I had those dinos bred quite a while to the point where they were pretty much maxed out. I didn't have to put any points into them, except, in other words, I had all their stats available to them, and it just sucks. I'm gonna put him away. I saved all the males, So what I can do is, how I kill a bunch of babies every time I don't get what I want. What I'll do is I'll start saving them up, and I'll cryo them, and then we'll be able to accomplish something. Oh, there's another egg. Oh. Damn, that sucks so bad. Pissed me off. It really did. Well, at least that's it. Is you hold Z. If you hold Z, you get the indicators, which is funny. Z and then see, that gives me an indicator as to where anybody is. See? That's what that does. Anyway. That's so fucking stupid. I start saving all these duds. And maybe in a little while I'll go ahead and try it again, assuming I test all the fucking whistles before I go out and take on a boss in full armor. That cost me quite a bit. Blame society. See? There we go. See? The difference is it's going to take some time for them to level up. So, yeah. I don't think I have to put food in there, but I do that just to make it easier. Fuck me. Stupid shit. It doesn't matter what level they are. Like, for example, the 408 has probably 2 combat mutations, which is fine. You know, they're just duds. So next time, number 1, I'll take on the Gamma, which is the lower level one. Number 1, because of the saddles, I don't have a 300 or 200 point saddle. I'm only going to make, about 100, 130 point saddle. So I'll take on the Gamma next time, which I should be able to handle. And before I go out and do this, I will take them all to the fucking beach, unload all of them on the beach, and make sure that they can attack something as a group. For crying out loud. Oh my fucking God. What the hell? Cannot believe that shit. I would be embarrassed and I'd be more upset. But it's fucking Ark, man. Ark does this shit all the time, dude. Glitching all the time. Yeah. There we go. So they'll be fine. They'll grow up by tomorrow. Especially since now's a good time to grow them because it's the breeding bonanza and they grow faster than normal. Alright, so thanks to whoever this was, I'm going to add it to my temp list. And let's see if we have anything.
Are you thinking?
We already saw that one. I already saw that.
Afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Big Ward the Genius. I'm going to mute and eat some pork rinds. All right.
Today is Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. I am back with another episode. Hold on. Ooh, my bad. Allergies. I am back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, I appreciate it. I am taking a little break to make this video, and I'm not in the port. But I think they're all right now, but I ain't gonna take no chance of filming no video in the port. It ain't that serious. I found a way around it. And here I am at another location, because I'm in a truck driving. I can go other places and film a video. So anyway, this was a email topic, and it was asking me about it was from a young man. I think it was like 23, 24 years old. He's still living at home with his mom, and he make mistakes, and he this, that, and the other. Typical young man stuff, young person stuff. It ain't just young man, young person. And he been beating himself up lately, thinking he should be doing better than what he's doing at 20, and about some of the decisions that he made and that he wish he would have done differently or whatever, And to hear me talking all the time about making better decisions for your life. Your life is a result of how, the decisions you make, right? So he asked me, like, Big War, I just got a quick question, told me his age, 23, his name, I ain't gonna give his name and all that type stuff. And he asked me, if I had to do over again my life, what would I do different? I might have touched on this before, but it's been so long ago because I got like over 1,000 videos now, I don't remember. And who feel like shuffling through 1,000 videos to find this one topic that he want to see. So even if I have made this topic before, I'm going to make it again since you asked, because obviously you haven't seen it. And I don't remember if I did or not. I'm getting old. It is what it is. So what would I do differently? What I wish I would have known in my 20s that I know now, and how do I think it would affect my life if I'd have done those things in my 20s? What would I do different? All right, first of all, let's get this understood. In your 20s, you knew what you knew. In my 20s, I knew what I knew. You're not going to know in your 20s. I understand the question where you come from. I just want to get this for your real life, not a hypothetical, but I want you to understand for your real life. That everybody going to make mistakes in their 20s, teens, all your life. So if you're out there beating yourself up right now, anybody, not just you, you're beating yourself up because you're making mistakes and you're having to pay for them, you're making bad decisions, you're going to do that. Ain't no way around that. Ain't nothing you can do. You can be the best person in the world, love the Lord, filled with the Holy Ghost, you speak in tongues at the drop of a dime. Whatever they be saying. In spite of all that, you still gonna mess up. You still gonna make a bonehead decision. You still gonna do something you ain't got no business doing. I don't care who you are. Don't let nobody fool you into thinking they done lived a mistake-free. I don't care how good they doing right now. Great A1 credit, 850 credit score, 8-bedroom, 16-car garage with 10 pools in the backyard, plenty of women. Everybody love them, the family, the kids got straight A's, whatever it may look like. Even they mess up. Keep that understood. See, I made a mistake. One of the mistakes I made in my 20s which people still make the same mistake now. I don't. Maybe you do, and some older people now my age and older still making the same mistake of judging your success, your progress, your accomplishment, comparing it to somebody else's. You judging where you are and where your life is based on how somebody else's life looks. And a lot of times we would talk ourselves up as failures, as losers, because we're comparing ourselves to the image, not reality. A lot of times sometimes it might be that reality, but the majority of the time, you comparing yourself, putting yourself down because you comparing yourself to the image of somebody else's life instead of their reality. Comparison is the thief of joy. So that's one of the things I wish I knew in my 20s. Not to compare yourself to others. Other people, and not just grown folk like people that's older than you. I made a big mistake of comparing myself to others my age and how they were doing. Because some people take off quicker than others. Some people quit it. Some people, like the tortoise in the hare, they take off at a fast pace and they just take off past you. And you a little turtle, for y'all that heard the tortoise in the hare story. You might be 20, 21, 22, and somebody your age doing it big. They done took off. And you might be still living at your mama's house, working at the factory down there, trying to figure it out. Somebody your own age somewhere own this, they own that, they got this, they got that, they car pretty, what have you. And you comparing yourself to them. Damn, Mike 23, I'm 22, I still stay at home with my mom. He got his own crib, 4 cars, beautiful women, he got this, that, and the other. He living the life. And you 22 still at home with your mama. So now you looking at yourself and saying, man, you a F up, you a failure. You should be doing better than that at your age. You ain't even 22 years old. But you're comparing yourself to Mike, and he's 23. You the tortoise, Mike the hare. From my experience, what I've seen that happened when I was doing that, comparing myself to other people that was my age, that was doing way better than me in our 20s, somewhere down the line when we hit 40 and 50, for some reason they ain't doing good no more. And I am. Because I don't know how they had got that money in their 20s. I didn't know they were scamming. I didn't know they was doing this, that, and the other. I don't know the whole story of how they got their money. Or they might have inherited their money. They might have got a life insurance policy. Their dad might have died. Who knows how that dude at your age, at 23 years old, got his own crib, got this, that, and the other. And you slow rolling, having to get it on your own. You don't know how he got it, right? But you comparing yourself to him, thinking you're a loser, and he's such a winner. Y'all hit 40, he broke, and you coming into your own. Because you didn't know that he got that money from a lawsuit. His dad died, what have you, and got an insurance settlement. You don't know how he got that money. But what you don't know is, he got bad spending habits. He don't know how to manage money because he didn't make the money. It was thrust on him. You didn't know that because he didn't tell nobody. So you were judging yourself, comparing yourself to somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing either. And you felt like a loser in your 20s. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made, comparing myself to other people. And how well they doing, and I wasn't doing as good as them. So now here he is 40. He broke, and you steady now. And you look like, damn, I remember he, like 50 said, damn, homie. In school, you was the man, homie. What the F happened to you? He got all that money at a young age, but he didn't know how to handle it. He didn't earn it. Because usually, even the football player, if say you a young man in his 20s and 22, 23, they ain't going to be having all that money right now. I don't care who you are, even if you're highly educated, doctor, lawyer, whatever, at 22, 23 years old, a man ain't going to have that much money like that. Unless he's a football player, something like that, rapper. And they usually end up broke. Why is that? Why is it that most football players, NFL players, or whatever, the percentage of them is very high, of one that end up going broke. Because they're young and they got that money thrust on them instead of learning some stuff before they got that money. Like most men do. Most of us end up financially stable in our mid-30s, early 40s. Don't let nobody fool you, thinking most men balling at 20, 22 years old. That is not normal. That is not the norm. So don't compare yourself to other people. Number 2, focus on your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, focus on finding out what it is, not women. And this ain't no woman bashing. I love women, and women, this is for y'all. That's why I would tell a young man this. My son or any young man in my vicinity, I would tell any young man this so he can be a better man for y'all, ladies. I'm not telling him to hate y'all, by telling him no dealing with a woman in your 20s, especially your early 20s. You got too much learning to do. You ain't ready yet to step up into your role designated to you by God as a man. You ain't ready to protect and provide for a woman and a family yet. So don't bother them. Don't be one of these older, bitter men running around here talking about the woman just want me for my money. They don't want you if you ain't got nothing. They don't want you if you ain't straight. They don't want no man. That was me too. When I ain't know no better. She ain't supposed to want your broke ass. God didn't design her to want no broke. It ain't in her. Cause her responsibility, her first responsibility, ain't to your age. In nature, a woman's first responsibility in finding a mate is to make sure she got one that's gonna be able to provide for her and y'all offspring if she makes it. Animal nature. Anywhere in the animal kingdom, the female version of that species looks for the strongest male she can find to mate with, to make sure she got the best male that can provide and protect her and her cub from danger and from home. So therefore, it's natural by design, by the Creator, for a woman to not want or desire, have any interest in a broke man, a weak man, a 400-500 pound man out of shape, but that he can't protect you. It ain't that you don't look good, what you don't, but you also big and flabby, and you gon' when you gonna be trying to protect your lady and your kids. I know, fellas, that's some big 400-500 pound dude that can fight. I know, but that ain't the norm. Cause even if they can fight, if you miss on the first couple of punches, you win. If you don't knock him out in 2 or 3 punches, the fat guy loses. Cause he gonna be tired. So, in my 20s, I wish I would have focused on what I'm focused on now back then. Career, purpose, success, physical strength, mental strength. Being the best version of myself so I can be the best version for my wife and my kids. To where I would have never had no woman leaving me because I was broke, and then mad at her because she left me because I was broke. I was mad at her when I should have been mad at God. Any man out here mad at a woman because she don't want him when he's broke and when he's down and out struggling, whatever, don't be mad at her, be mad at God. They were built that way. It took me to get older to understand that. That's why I'm trying to teach y'all, don't hate a woman for being a woman. She just being who she is. She was made like that. So in my 20s, I wish I would have focused more on being successful, financially, spiritually, and emotionally before I ever thought about being with a woman. Through the grace of God, I didn't have no kids at a young age, but I wasted a lot of time chasing women instead of chasing people. I was on the road. I could have been successful in trucking. I done had my CDS in 1995. But during that time, when I should have been focused on my career, I was scared to be on that road because I'm worried about what my girl at home doing. I left my first over-the-road trucking job and Gary, Indiana, across the street from Michael Jackson's house. We would pull over for to take a break, the overnight sleep right there out with a company called Burlington. Right across the street, my trainer said, that's where Michael Jackson used to live. We're going to go over there and check it out in the morning. You know, you can do tours. Look at what else we're going to do. He said, we're going to go look at Michael Jackson. I'm Michael Jackson's biggest fan. If I had hair, I'd have a Jerry curl right now. But I quit. While he was asleep, I got my shit, went called a cab, went to the bus station, came on back home to see what my girl was doing. I couldn't focus on my purpose because I was focused on my girl. Ended up broke and homeless. And she left me anyway because I was broke and homeless. Number one, don't compare yourself to others. Number two, chase your purpose, not women. Don't expect or even want a woman to be with you when you're broke. If there's a woman out here that want a broke man, fellas, you shouldn't want her. Something wrong with her. She crazy. We don't want no crazy women. If you got a woman that don't care nothing about you being broke, that ain't the woman you want, because first of all, you ain't gonna be motivated. If you with a woman right now, you know if I'm go broke, she ain't even care. You ain't gonna try hard not to go broke. Sound crazy? Oh, big war, you pandering to the women. Unsubscribe. That's all you gotta do. As a man, you shouldn't want no woman. First of all, you shouldn't expect no woman to want you when you're broke, but you also shouldn't want one. I don't want no woman that's okay with me being average. Because therefore, I'm going to be okay with being average. I don't want to be average. I want to be elite. Maybe you're okay with being average, so you can get you a woman that's okay with you being average. I don't want no woman that'll settle for an average man. Because I don't want to settle for being an average man. I know that sounds crazy, weird, whatever. You take it how you want to take it. If y'all been following me for a minute, y'all know I don't do average. I'm an elitist. Even though I ain't there yet. I don't like this broke shit. And I'm teaching it to y'all. Don't be okay with being broke. It's not okay. Money is not the root of all evil. Not having money is. Money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. No, being broke is the root of all evil. All the crime going on in the poor, impoverished neighborhoods, not in Beverly Hills. Money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Being broke is. Being poor. The crime is in the hood, fool. Who else in the hood? Broke jokers. I'm just talking. You asked me what I would do in my 20s differently. I would never. I did a lot of comparing myself to others, and I did a lot of chasing no old piss-tail gals, like my mama told me not to do. My mama told me don't do that. Stop chasing piss-tail gals, and get your lesson, which means do good in school. She said she was an old lady, old Southern lady from Louisville, Mississippi. Get your lesson, Jermaine. Get your lesson. Stop chasing them piss-tail gals. In other words, chase your purpose. As a man, your purpose comes first, not your wife, not your kids, not even you. You don't come before your purpose, young man. Your purpose is what God gave you to be able to do what it is on the earth He wants you to do. God gave all of us a purpose on this earth. That comes first. Whatever it is God got for you here to do is what's first. If you don't put that first, everything else gonna fold. Discover your purpose. Ask God to show you your purpose. Find it. Get on it. Everything else will be added to you. As they say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all other things will be added. What's God's purpose for you? It's seeking God's kingdom. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and everything else will be added. See what God got for you first. And the money and all that stuff will pour on you. It's happening to me right now. I done found my purpose. At 52 years old. I've been out here for years chasing bullshit.
I'm a year older than he is. Jeez.
When I started leaning on God instead of myself, I discovered my purpose. Preach out. Where my little rag? So I can do the pastor. Because I'm preaching right now. Yeah. Not a pastor do in church when they think they preaching. The sweat pat. Your purpose come first. Over you, over your kid, over your wife, over your mama, over everybody. God gave you a purpose. God gave every man a purpose. Do that purpose, everything else gonna come. The wife, the kid, the family gonna be straight, your mama gonna be straight, everybody involved in your life, you'll be able to take care of them when you find out what your purpose is on the earth that God gave each and every man walking around here. Just my belief. You ask me what I thought, I'm telling you what I thought. This is what I know. This is what I would have done different. And last but not least, I wouldn't have worried as much. I would have sought God sooner. Not religion. Not church. I would have sought God sooner. As a matter of fact, that should have been the first thing I did. That's why I said last but not least.
Yeah. Really,
it's the most important. I wish I would have had the relationship with God that I got with him now. And the reason I didn't, it wasn't because of God. It was because of me. So that's why I'm telling you, as a young man, get your relationship right with God first. If you don't believe in God, this entire message is not for you. Just go on, hit the down thumb, and click off the video. If you don't believe in God, none of this applies to you. You might well get off this video. I wish, out of all the things that I could have done different in my 20s, in my entire life, would have the relationship with God back then that I have now. A lot of the stuff I did, a lot of the mistakes I made, a lot of the bad decisions I made was due to my lack of faith in God that I was going to be all right. See, now I know, no matter what happened, if the strike went on, whatever, if I lose my job, this and that, I know I'll be all right. Back then, I didn't know that. So when stuff happened, I would go try to make something happen, and I would screw everything up worse than what it already was. Hence, I'm in the D game, slanging them things. Because I didn't trust God back then. So I had to make my poverty situation with me and my mom, I had to go fix it instead of depending on God to show me a way. And having the utmost faith that God was going to show me a way. So since I didn't believe that back then, I went try to make it happen myself. And boom, voila, I'm the D-boy. Set up for a world of hurt later on.
I missed the opportunity.
That would be my number one thing. And I suggest it be your number one thing. Get your relationship with God right now. Not religion. Not pastor so-and-so. Not deacon so-and-so. Not sister so-and-so. Them people full of ish. Find your relationship with the one true living God. Just ask him. I don't know no other way to get you to him. Talk to him. Like he really there. Because he is. Big War, how do I find God? I didn't know how to find him either until I found him. When I found him, I realized he was always there. I didn't have to find him. You don't have to find what ain't lost. God wasn't lost. I was. God ain't never been lost. You are. You don't have to find what you already got. He already there. Use it. Get it. Got it. Good. Bye.
saw a red drop somewhere. There it is. What I really need is a better Carno saddle. That's what I really need. That's good. Pump action shotgun, 241. That's good. It's not too expensive either. It's not too expensive. Oh man, that's a lot better than the like 113 or whatever I got. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, you only get one random drop in here. At least as far as I understand it. Can I get you? Okay, good. Because it looks like... Okay. Shit, I ain't going to complain. I got a good shotgun blueprint. Man, I needed that. Because you go into the cave, like the cold cave, to get the artifact that's there. Without a good shotgun blueprint, you're fucked. Even if you take a little animal with you that can do some damage. I mean, those animals, they fall in the pit all the time. They just get insta-killed all the time. You know? Now this one's 144. Yeah. Another red drop. See, the drops out here don't have the potential that the drops in the caves have. The drops out here will be maybe 100, 200, but the ones in the caves can be up to 300, 400. You know? So it's really good to go inside the caves if you can. And if you have a personal game, you might want to consider enabling cave flight. Because if they didn't enable cave flying, I wouldn't be able to go in there with a bird and do what I'm doing now. Anyway, after my defeat, I thought I'd go ahead and just relax. It's going to take a long time to get those Carnos leveled up so that they can go in there and fight again. And it's going to take a long time to get the resources to make more saddles. But now that I know what the problem is and I got the whistle back, I'm okay. You know, it's not going to kill me. I just didn't expect to lose everything just like that. I mean, I figured, well, maybe the other Carnos will survive. Out of 19 Carnos and the Yudi, only one Carno survived. Just one. That's, you know, so I overstepped my game. Number one. And number two, I should have checked the fucking whistles before I went in there, and I didn't do it. I blame myself for that stupid shit. too many arrows in there. Yeah, that's way too many arrows. Since I got that shotgun blueprint, see what do I need? Metal, cementing paste, polymer. I'd be better off putting it over here. Ooh, yeah. For next time, right there. And I think I got a better blueprint for the 178, 195. Yeah. This blueprint's better. All right. See, I got all these, but I just, I was disconcerting what happened. But I get over it. See, that's life, you know, like my bachelor's degree, it didn't work out with that. It was just a mistake. I didn't know. Nobody told me. But that's not entirely true. There were people that mentioned it, but I didn't take it seriously. I mean, how could I fail with a fancy bachelor's degree? I mean, that's not even possible, right? It's not even possible for me to fail with that. I mean, that's a prestigious thing. I can't possibly fail. How could I fail? Okay. It'll provide some light over there. There we go. Never waste your electronics. Every little bit will help light your life up. All right. So let's get rid of that. And then we got some of this. Yeah, Big Ward, man. Big Ward's awesome, dude. I wish I had found this guy earlier in my life. I bet that son of a bitch make me so fucking wise. But, you know, time gets you in the end. Even if you have good intention and shit. Oh, let's play another one. We're at, let's see, what, 45? 45 minutes for Big Ward. The genius.
Alright, so
Here's Joey. How it feels to be homeless. I'd call it houseless because you don't have a house, not a home. Your home is your vehicle and wherever you lay your head.
this video will be about how it feels to be homeless, like just the reality of the situation. So if you want to know my whole story, I'll link it in the description of why I was homeless videos. It's too long for me to explain it right now. It's 7 videos long. It's a long, complicated story. But first off, thanks for the subs, thanks for the likes, thanks for the comments. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for the tips. Appreciate every single one of you. and thanks for the Patreon support, especially. I appreciate every single one of you. The Patreon is what's keeping this whole ship afloat. I used to see people on YouTube and they'd be pushing their Patreon so hard, and I'd be like, what, if you're already making money on YouTube, what are you pushing a Patreon for? Here's why. Because YouTube is very inconsistent. It's, I don't know how the algorithm decides what to push, but sometimes it pushes you, sometimes it doesn't. So, I don't know. And if it's not pushing you, you're not making no money. So anyways, in a way, I just to give you a quick rundown, I kind of chose to be homeless because I didn't want to be afraid of it anymore. I was living a life that I felt I had no control over. I felt like all I can do is get a job and cling to it. And if something went wrong with the job, the only thing I could do was go find another job, and I was tired of it because my trades are carpentry and concrete, construction, remodeling. And so once the whole economy kind of collapsed in 2008, I realized that now I don't even have that. The reason I even did construction for a living was because I felt like from here on out, for the rest of my life, I'll always be able to get a job. I wanted that conquered. I didn't want to have to spend the rest of my life looking for jobs and not having any type of skills, or you know what I mean. So that was what I did. But then the whole economy just collapsed, and I realized that my plan didn't work. Even though I've learned some trades and I've got some skills, it doesn't even matter because the people running this country and the people making the decisions are so inept that they can't even keep the whole thing afloat. So I was like, what I need to do is figure out how to just make money without a job. And so that was how I ended up homeless, basically, in a nutshell. So how it feels to be homeless is it's not a good feeling, I'll tell you that much. Even though I was doing it by choice, it still is a very shocking and jarring experience because you're used to having a house to go to escape all the bullshit. You're used to having a safe place to go. Now all of a sudden, you ain't got nowhere to go. And you really don't know what to do with yourself. Fortunately for me, I had already come up with ways to make money on the street. Watch my previous videos if you want to know how. So my first priority when I was out there was to go make money. But Manhattan was very, very strange at the time because Hurricane Sandy had just come through and messed a lot of things up. So the place where I wanted to work was actually closed because a bunch of branches fell. It was Strawberry Fields in Central Park. That was one of my main spots. So when I was first out on the street, I'm thinking every spare second of my time, since I don't have anything else to do and I have nowhere to go, I'm just going to focus on making money. And I'm going to make as much as I can, you know what I mean? Because money is going to solve my issues. So, but I couldn't even work that first day because the hurricane had come through and the spot that I wanted to work in was closed. So then I was like, damn, what am I supposed to do with myself, And it was pretty cold out. This is November in New York, November around 2012. The Mayan calendar ends December 21st, 2012, and so people were afraid that the world was going to end. Let me tell you something. In a way, the world did end when the Mayan calendar ended. Look on my Patreon if you want a full explanation. So, but yeah, the world ended, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So once I realized I couldn't really work and make money, my spot was closed, so I didn't know what to do with myself, and the reality is starting to set in that I'm homeless. I have nowhere to sleep tonight. I have nowhere to go, and I don't know what to do with myself. So, fortunately for me, I had a couple of bucks in my pocket. I don't know, you know, what other people do when they're out there, but, you know, when they're first out there, I don't know. But, you know, I had enough money in my pocket to where I could go get a coffee at Starbucks and charge my phone. So that was what I did. And, you know, I'm like an hour, 2 hours into being homeless, and I already hate it. I already can't stand it. Because what you don't realize is that you got to realize that this whole society is built around making it hard for homeless people. There's nowhere to lay down. If you look at any bench in any public area, there's going to be an armrest like every 3 feet. That's how it is in New York City, at least, because they don't want the homeless people to lay down on the benches. They want life for homeless people to be as harsh and uncomfortable as possible, because what they want is it's not that they want homeless people. They want people to work and generate money, which all gets funneled back to them. In the long run, all the money that you're spending on all your bills and all your everything that you're spending money on, you're being ripped off on everything. You're paying 10 times what everything is worth. And all that excess money that you're spending is getting funneled into the people who run the world, basically. So they don't want homeless people, because those are people who are not generating anything for them. But they need homeless people, because for the normal people who see homeless people, they think to themselves, like, I don't want to end up like that, so I'm going to do what I'm told to do, basically. They've got... You gotta hand it to them. They created this whole society full of passive, submissive people, slaves, basically. But the thing is, they have to have this whole convoluted system, because if we realized we were slaves, we would just take over. So, you know, you gotta realize that you've been brainwashed your whole life to not realize that you are actually a slave. It's hard to believe, but it's the truth. If you want the details, go on my Patreon. But so, you know, they need homeless people. They can afford to have some part of the population not generating income. They want to make it as hard as possible for them, so that some of them will go back to generating money for them. But they need people out there who are completely filthy and carrying everything they own in a shopping cart and digging through the trash, because when you see them on a subconscious level, your mind is telling you, I better do what I'm told to do, otherwise that's how I'm going to end up. And you know, some people succeed in this world, and that's good for them, great for them. To be totally honest, I would have been one of them. If the economy didn't collapse in 2008 and I could have kept doing construction, yeah, I'd be making a lot of money in construction right now, and I'd probably have a family and all that shit. But the truth is, I'm kind of glad things worked out the way they did, because I do believe that if my life had gone that way, I'd be very depressed, and I'd probably be on some sort of medication by now.
Shit.
But as it turned out, for the last decade or so, I've been outside just conquering fears, basically. Oh yeah, this video is supposed to be about how it feels to be homeless. So yeah, you gotta realize that the whole thing is designed to be hard for homeless people. So, and you don't really realize that until you're out there. Although the way it is now in California and stuff, where they've got like tent cities it's probably pretty easy to be homeless under those circumstances. Oh, that's a cool little bird. If I had a tent to live in, it would have made things a lot easier. But New York City, you ain't gonna be able to pull nothing like that. But so yeah, the thing you're gonna realize first when you're homeless is you've got nowhere to go and you don't know what to do. So my suggestion is find a way to make money. I don't care if it's even panhandling, whatever. I've got videos that will explain how to make money on the street. So that's what you should be doing. You should be just getting your money up. Figure out a way to make money out there, and like I said, I'll link the videos in the description, I guess. So, but when I was first out there, I couldn't. My spot was closed, and it was too late in the day for me to go make money anywhere else. So I went to Starbucks, charged up my phone, and I was just trying to find a room to rent, because even though I was only an hour or two into being homeless, I already hated it. I already didn't like it. So I was looking to see if I could afford a room anywhere. I was looking on the internet, looking on Craigslist, looking on whatever websites where they would be advertising rooms for rent, and I realized pretty quickly that I can't really afford any of them. So, I mean, I could probably afford a room, but I couldn't afford it all year round, you know? And I wasn't about to spend all my money just to rent a room for a couple of days or a week and then be right back out on the street. So, I realized I couldn't rent a room, and I realized that I need to find somewhere to sleep tonight. And it was November in New York City. It was cold out, so I couldn't sleep outside. I didn't have a winter coat, and I did not have a sleeping bag or nothing like that. So my idea was I'm going to go sleep inside Penn Station. You know, I guess it depends where you're at, but you're going to have to find somewhere to sleep. So I was thinking I'll sleep at Penn Station. This way there should be enough people around to where no one's going to be able to steal from me while I'm sleeping or nothing like that. So what I realized pretty quickly is once I got to Penn Station, there's police who patrolled Penn Station back then to prevent anyone from sleeping there. Like I said, the whole city is designed to make it hard for homeless people. They want, if you're going to be homeless, they want you in the shelter, contained, and, you know, anyone who's capable, they want to get them back into the workforce and generating money for them. And the people who are not capable, they'll just live the rest of their life in the shelter, just forgotten, tucked away, out of the way. And that's pretty much how it is. But so I kept getting woken up by the cops while I was trying to sleep in Penn Station, so I realized that's not going to work. Within the next couple of days, I discovered sleeping on the train, which sucks. You can't lay down, because if you do, they'll literally arrest you in New York. I don't know how it is now, but back then, if the cops caught you sleeping on the train, they would arrest you unless you were sitting up. So yeah. I had to sleep sitting up for months on the train, shit. And man, it was rough. And then the other thing is, when, you know, there's days where I couldn't work because it was raining or it was too cold or whatever. Those are the worst days when you're homeless, because what do you do, you know? So I would just sit in Penn Station. My phone wasn't even on, and I would use the Amtrak Wi-Fi. I would sit outside the little Amtrak waiting area, and I'd use the Wi-Fi and just bullshit on the internet. But it's not like I could really relax, you know? Because I'm the type where if I got an issue, I want to solve it. And if I'm not, every ounce of my time and energy is going to go into solving that issue. I've got to get back to that mind state, because the truth is, I could be making a lot more money, but the problem is I've just been lazy lately. But so, but when I was out on the street and I couldn't work, I hated it because I just wanted to get my money up to try to fix my situation, you know. And when I couldn't work, I felt like I was just wasting time. So I'd be like, you know, I would just be sitting there in Penn Station, miserable, sitting on the Wi-Fi and just annoyed. But yeah, there's just when you're homeless, you just for me, when I couldn't work, this was only in the beginning. Once I was out there for a while, I figured out how to get comfortable out there. You'll adjust to it, but in the beginning, I just didn't know what to do with myself. So Penn Station was kind of like my home in a lot of ways. I couldn't sleep there, but if I had nothing else to do and I couldn't work, I would just sit inside Penn Station and use the Wi-Fi. And there's some hidden outlets around Penn Station where you can charge your phone. But I've got to say, these idiot asshole cops inside Penn Station, they'll be like, that's theft of services. I'm like, what, for charging my phone? What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, here's $5, fuck off, you know? Not that I ever offered the money, but it's like theft of services. Like, the whole thing is designed to make things hard for homeless people. And so, but yeah, that's the main issue, is you don't know what to do with yourself. So what happens is a lot of people who are out there, they just end up addicted to drugs and stuff because they just want to escape reality. You know what I mean? I guess some of them are already on drugs before they even get out there. But me, I was 100% sober when I got out there. I ended up addicted to heroin, but that was years later, and that's a long story too. You'd have to watch my previous videos. But when I was first out there, I had no interest in escaping reality. My interest was making money. So, but yeah, when you're homeless, it's hard because even sleeping outside, you've got to figure out a way to not get your stuff stolen. So, fortunately for me, I kind of knew a lot of people around New York City, so
I'm back. All right.
When I'd sleep, well, in the beginning, like I said, I was sleeping on the train, and I would tie my backpack to my leg. No one tried to steal from me on the train. And then I ended up sleeping in an internet cafe. You know, if you're out there on the street and you're homeless, you're going to meet people and you're going to find out about other places to sleep and stuff. So here's the thing. If you're facing homelessness, don't be afraid. Don't panic. Just know that, yeah, it's going to be hard and it's going to be kind of shocking at first, but you're going to adjust to it. And when all is said and done, the experience is going to make you a lot stronger and a lot braver. So don't let this situation just turn you into some timid little mouse. You know what I mean? It did the opposite for me. I used to be a lot more timid than after living on the street for a decade. I'm not a timid person, you know. I'm a quiet person. I'm not that outgoing. I can be outgoing at times. But one thing I'm not is timid. I'm not going to let people just walk all over me. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't be afraid. Let it toughen you up. Don't let the situation, you know, don't let it ruin you. You know what I mean? Everything is a state of mind. You just got to look at it the right way. Like, look at it as training. There was times out there when people who were kind of new to being homeless, I'd let them hang out with me for a little while until they kind of learned how to be homeless, basically. But I'll never forget my buddy was saying one time, he's like, man, I can't take this shit no more, you know? And I was like, look, let me tell you something. I've been there. I know exactly how you feel, where you just feel like you just want to die. You know, life is so brutal and hard that you don't even want to live. And I was like, you got to look at it as like training. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard and it's harsh, but it's good for you. You know, as long as you don't let it, you know, it's all a state of mind. You have to look at it as training. So whatever situation you're facing in life, homelessness, whatever, you're going to adapt to it as long as you let yourself. You can't let the situation just make you crumble, you know. So just remember, it's training. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. But eventually, you're going to adjust to it, and you're going to figure it out, and you're going to escape. That's another thing when you're homeless. You feel like this is forever, but it's not. Nothing is forever. The people who are like basically like permanently homeless, it's in a lot of ways it's due to their own bad decisions. They're spending all their time and effort and energy into just getting wasted, or they're doing things that are just terrible. They're stealing from other homeless people, and it's like, if you're gonna act like that, you probably are gonna end up out there for a long time. The reason I was out there for a long time is because once I adjusted to it, I didn't even care that much. You know, and plus I was trying to conquer it to a point where I wouldn't be afraid of it at all. And believe me, I did try to quit more than once and try to just go back to being normal, but you know, you can only control so much, and I felt like once I had chosen that path to conquer that fear, it was like God wasn't going to let me just quit. Because I did try to quit more than once, but like I said, things happen for a reason. I'll tell you a quick story. When I first decided to try to quit and go back to being normal, I was about a month, maybe 2 months into being homeless, and I hadn't showered. So I was like, I couldn't take that anymore. So I went to this one shelter on 33rd Street that's like this private type shelter, and they didn't even let me in. I could tell that they just thought that I was some rich kid that was gonna, if they didn't let me in, I'd just go back and live with my parents, but that wasn't the case. I had nowhere to go. But I'm not even gonna get into it, but I'll put it to you this way. If I was not a white dude, they would have let me in. And you can take that however you want to take it, but politically correct means nothing to me. Like I said, I'm in a position in my life where I can say whatever I want. I can speak the truth, and nobody can do anything from me because they can take everything from me, and I'm still gonna be all right. So I don't answer to people. I answer to God. So I tell I'm gonna speak my mind. You know what I mean? And whoever don't like it, that's fine. I don't care if you like it. So my plan at this point, I'm 2 months, maybe a month and a half, 2 months in, I'm filthy. I want to take a shower, and I want to just go back to a normal life. The job I had quit was at the Belmont horse track on Long Island, and I could have gotten that job back. So what I was thinking was, I'm done with this homeless shit. I am just going to go back to living a normal life, and I am going to just put up with whatever I have to put up with because I can't take this homeless shit. So my plan was to call my old boss at Belmont who liked me, and he would have hired me back. I'm 99% sure he would. So I called up his office in Belmont. His name was Paul. I called Paul's office and there was no answer. And I'm like, well, that's strange. Paul is usually in his office and he usually answers the phone. So I sent a message to one of my buddies who still worked at Belmont, and I'm like, yo, what's up with Paul? Why isn't he answering his phone? He's like, yo, Paul's on vacation right now. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm trying to get my job back. And he's like, oh shit. He's like, good, come back, you know, like, I like having you around. I'm like, yeah, no, don't worry, bro. I'm coming back. I'm like, but I need to get a hold of Paul. And he's like, yeah, well, Paul's on vacation. Call him, like, next Monday. He'll be back. I'm like, all right. So now my plan is to go stay in the shelter, and I'm just gonna be passive, submissive. I'm gonna do what they tell me. and I am going to go back to my job in Belmont. I am done with this shit. I did not conquer my fear of homelessness. I give up. So I go to the shelter, and they admit me at like 2 a.m. They just make you just sit there waiting. I tell this story in my Why I Was Homeless video, so I'm just breezing through it right now. But as it turns out, the next morning, all I really wanted was to take a shower. The next morning, I wake up and they give me a Metro card to get on the subway, and they're like, well, you got to go stay on the shelter in Ward's Island. And I'm like, well, I can't stay at the fucking Ward's Island because I've got to make money in Manhattan every day. And they're like, we don't care. You've got to go to Ward's Island. I'm like, I take the little Metro card, and I don't go to Ward's Island. I didn't even use the Metro card. I was going to save it for later. I walked to Washington Square Park, and I did my dollar joke thing. And I actually made a lot of money that day, and it was a really nice day weather-wise. And it changed my whole attitude. I was like, you know what? I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep going, because now I've got about $100 in my pocket. You know, I don't like sleeping on the train, but the shelter is such a dump and the people are so terrible that it's not even the people who live there are terrible. The people who work there are terrible. The people who work in the shelters are pretty much just homeless people that they hire and give them like minimum wage to just be dictators of the shelter. And I'm like, I'm not putting up with this shit, man. So, but I was like, this is, in my mind, this is what I was thinking. I was like, this is God is telling me not to give up, and to just keep pushing. But, you know, I had also realized that I can give up if I want. I can go live on Ward's Island and go back to working on Belmont, and, you know, I can go back to that if I want to. But I didn't want to. I didn't go through all that and experience all that just to give up 2 months in. You know what I mean? So I went back out on the street, and yeah, it was a hard couple of years. Watch my previous videos. But when all is said and done, I'm glad I did it, because now, like I said, I don't got to put up with nothing from nobody. I mean, really. And a lot of people don't like that. But, you know, it's also given me a bit of arrogance and a bit of an ego, because I get really annoyed when people try to tell me what to do, you know what I mean? But I try to be a reasonable person, but it's like, if I feel like this person has less knowledge and less experience than me, why should I be taking any type of orders? You know what I mean? So it's like I said, I don't answer to people, I answer to God. I'm not a confrontational person, but I'm not the type that's just gonna let people, you know, tell them. People aren't gonna tell me how to speak or how to think or how to act. You know what I mean? And like I said, I do believe that the reason a lot of people are so passive and submissive in our society is because they are afraid of being homeless. What is this motorcycle doing? Like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's why you gotta watch it when you make videos outside. It's a bitch.
The dude's on what looks like a mini bike, that it's like a go-kart on 2 wheels, and he's out here driving. The way people drive around here, it's just a matter of time before somebody runs into him, and I don't know. But so, yeah, I think, look, they've got it. They've turned our society into a bunch of helpless, toothless little poodles who do exactly what they're told and put up with all kinds of insanity because they're just afraid of being homeless. You know what I mean? So they're brainwashing the kids in school and ruining these people and turning them into, you know, I could go on for days and days, but how long is this? It's 30 minutes. Every video I make is like 30 something minutes, and lately I'm trying to make them a little shorter, because I just want to see how they do in the algorithm. But it is what it is, whatever. Thank God for Patreon, I'll put it to you that way, because my YouTube, one week I make a lot of money, the next week I don't make hardly anything. That's why I kind of wanted to see how shorter videos would do, because the amount of ads are going to be the same, but the percentage of the video that people watch will probably be higher because it'll be shorter, but it's whatever. Anyways, so hopefully I explained how it feels to be homeless. I've got to watch this video and see if I even explained it or conveyed it properly. But yeah, thanks for the support. I appreciate every single one of you. And the new Patreon video will be up within the next couple of days. If you're interested in, just go on my Patreon. It's totally different than what I'm doing on YouTube, so you may not even like it. So go look at it and see if it's something you'd be interested in. It's only $5 a month, or you can give me $20 a month, but it's the same thing. Anyways, everybody have a good one. I will see y'all on the next video. We'll see what it ends up being. Everybody have a good one.
Joey the Gypsy. That man's strong for doing what he's doing the way he's doing it. I wouldn't be able to do it, guys. I mean, if the whole shit goes down, I lose position. I can't get another position that I can do because I'm very sick. I'm very sick. I mean, I can't really do the old shit I used to do when I was in my 20s. Can't do a warehouse job. I won't be able to stand long enough for it. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Then I'll wind up like that, and I'll have to just do what I have to do to survive. Yeah, it's rough, man. It is rough. Oh. See, now my fucking whistles are working. God damn, I just can't believe that screwed me so bad. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, these are ready. Glad I saved all the old saddles. A bunch of them anyway. If you leave them like this, they're going to probably continue to take damage and use up resources. There's one. There's two. I swear to God, I'm going to test the fucking whistle before I ever do that again. I'm going to put once I upload that video, I'm going to go ahead and put it over there on the Supreme Gaming site so that people see what the fuck happened. It's funny. It's funny, guys. You can't cry about it, but you can get pissed off a little bit, but it's funny. If something's funny, man, at least it's funny. I'm over here all ready to kick ass and see if I can beat the more advanced boss, and no. No. All right, guys. It's been about an hour and 21 minutes. I'm going to stop the video here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know Joey the Gypsy is a fucking awesome guy. I wish I could get on his Patreon and give him money. I barely have any. I'm like still breaking even, but I got some ideas I'm working on, and hopefully we'll get that done too. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye-bye.